Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. In this video, we are looking at the MLB PrizePicks plays for tonight. We have a big slate, as usual, for Friday, so let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button for me, subscribe if you have not already. Check out all the other links down below in the description. So first prop I want to give you guys is a Nerfy prop, and yesterday, lots of Nerfies if you played them. I believe all the 6 of the 1 o'clock games went with the Nerfy, 0 runs in the first inning for all those games. And today I'm starting it off with one with the Braves and Marlins Nerfy. We have Pablo Lopez and Jake Odorizzi on the other side. It should have been, I believe, Max Fried, but he is now out for this game. He's put on like the 7-day injured list. But this one is in Miami, so you know Miami, the Coliseum, Oakland, some of these bigger ballparks are ones that you really feel a lot better about going with a Nerfy, especially with you have 2 solid pitchers. Odorizzi's been good at times, but the Marlins offense has just been really poor for most of the season, especially recently. They do have some younger guys that they're giving opportunities to now that the season is coming almost over, nearing its final couple months. And then we have Pablo Lopez, who's been great for them, second best pitcher for the team, right behind Sandy Alcantara, and been pretty good all year. So hopefully he's able to kind of at least limit the Braves, at least in the first inning, even if he does end up giving a couple of runs in throughout his start. Other ones, you do have like the Oakland game and like the Dodgers game, but you probably don't have, you just have to worry about the Astros or the Dodgers ruining it, not really have to worry about the other teams. Another one could possibly be the White Sox Tigers Nerfy. That one looks solid. And then the last one possibly is the Cardinals and the Brewers, where you have a couple of lefties squaring off with Eric Lauer and Jordan Montgomery. We have a lot of good pitchers on the slate, lots of top-end pitchers where I want to get to some of these guys. First one is a pretty low fantasy score prop, and this is Ranger Suarez. For the Phillies, he's going up against the Mets here, but he's been really good over the last handful of starts for him. Most recent start went 5 1/3, 5 Ks. Did go 3 runs against the Nats, but he got the win in that start. Before that, pitched 6 shutout innings against the Pirates. He had 5 shutout innings against the Braves. Gave up 3 runs, but 0 were earned runs. Phillies defense did not help him out in that game. And then he pitched 5 scoreless against the Marlins here. So over his last 4 starts, he's been really good. Even before that, he's had a couple of good starts with some strikeout upside. Let's see if he's faced the Mets this year. He hasn't. He's faced the Mets at the very beginning of the year, where he only went 2 2/3, but he wasn't super stretched out and he was injured and for a bit after that. So now that he's kind of come back looking like last year's version of himself, where he was really good, and 21.5 fantasy points is really low. So that's one prop I like. Now we're getting to some of these more higher numbers with Luis Garcia over 36.5 fantasy. Just like targeting any pitcher against his Oakland team. Lots of strikeouts in this lineup and heavily favored. 5.7 total for them, just 3 on the other side. So hopefully he's able to go 6 innings, get the quality start, get the win, and get you some strikeouts along the way. Another one is Tyler Mahle, over 34.5 strikeouts. Just love any pitcher going up against the Angels, especially with how often they strike out. They have Fletcher, doesn't K much, but everybody else strikes out a lot. From 5 through 9, you have everybody over 20%, even from 4 through 9. Especially with top guys with like Joe Adell, 42% K rate, which is crazy. 31 for Walsh, 31 for the catcher, 28 for Rojas. Lots of strikeouts there, and Mahle's been, even though he's going to face off a lot of lefties, he's kind of corrected his lefty problems that he's had earlier in his career over the last, this season. Against lefties, he's striking them out a little bit more, 26.4%, and the ISO is way down. The exit velocity is way down as well compared to righties, so that should work to his advantage, getting a lot more lefties than a typical lineup. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 props here. The final one, do have some other ones that look appealing in terms of the fantasy prop. I do like Berrios today. Think his number is pretty low at 27.5. He's been really up and down for the Blue Jays this season, but I like the fact that he's at home. They are favored in this game with Quantrill on the other side. The Guardians have a 4-run total. Maybe you won't get a ton of strikeouts because the Guardians are pretty good at not striking out a ton, but hopefully he's still able to go a little bit deep into the game, get you a quality start possibly. I know he does give up home runs and stuff like that, but I like the number on Berrios, especially for the pitcher that is projected to get the win. Normally they're in the 30s on PrizePicks. just because of that extra 10 points possibly with the quality start and the win that you could get. So that's what I got. Lots of good pitchers today, so I'm kind of focusing on them. We didn't even get to touch on like Scherzer, and didn't even touch on like Carlos Rodon and some of these guys that if you really wanted to go for north of 40 fantasy points, those guys are definitely in play. But I went with some of the lower options that I still like today. So that's all for the video. 5 props. First one, under Braves Marlins first inning, half a run. Ranger Suarez over 21.5 fantasy. Luis Garcia over 36.5 fantasy. Malley, liked him a lot, 34.5 fantasy. And Barrios, 27.5 fantasy. Hitter props. We don't have a ton that I feel great about. We have, except for like some of these Astros bats that you can look to, or some of these other bats like the Dodgers look okay today. See if some of their numbers look appealing. So these Phillies props are really low at 4.5. Like a double would help. Will clear that for you if you wanted to take a shot there, but it is a little risky. In terms of some of these, they don't even have these guys on the board. Oh, there we go. We got some of these Dodgers 8.5 props. Those look solid. And then like Yordan Alvarez 8.5 fantasy. Altuve 8.5. Those look solid. Always just go with, if I'm playing any hitter fantasy, usually it's gonna be some bombers that they can clear it with just one swing of the bat. But I feel like I'm focusing on pitchers today, just with how deep the slate is. But that's all I got for you guys. Best of luck today. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I might have a video out tomorrow, so stay tuned if you're gonna play tomorrow's slate. But no, other than that, I'll see you all next time, and best of luck.